As I start this video, I would like to say if my face is shiny or if it's red, it's because I just got out of the shower. I finished my 32-step skincare routine. If y'all want it, link in the description is $500. But anyway, I'm just joking with you guys. It's 2024, so it's about time that we start respecting ourselves, and respecting ourselves means not hanging out with those friends of yours that don't appreciate you, okay? I know if you're anything like me, you give a lot more than you receive, or at least it feels that way. For me, growing up, I was a people pleaser, you know. I really felt like I had to go out of my way to please people, whether they disrespected me or not, whether they even liked me, whether they even wanted me around or not. Just because I wanted to be loved. I wanted company. I didn't want to be alone. It was like it's a very human and very guttural feeling to not want to be alone and to want other people around you. Like, look, if we go back to the history of humanity, this is like evolutionary instincts that are like deeply rooted within us because they are quite literally telling you like, hey, like you need to stick with your tribe no matter what, because they are your people and they are going to provide you with food, they're going to provide you with shelter, and you need to stick with your tribe. And this is like very reinforced with your parents because your parents, like, they're the first people you're exposed to, and they literally reinforce this evolutionary instinct by giving you shelter and feeding you, and giving you love, right? When you're like a people pleaser like this, it can be very easy to overshare, overgive. For me, it would get to like the point where I felt like I had no energy. I felt like I would just do whatever my friends told me to do, basically. I would just, yeah, like I would just do whatever my friends wanted to do. Never really did anything I wanted to do. I just kind of stuck with what my friends wanted. And then this eventually became like giving way too much. And look, I'm a certified personal trainer. And aside from this, I've also taken like nutrition classes. I've had so many friends tell me like, "Hey, I want to get into the gym. I want to get my diet right. I want to do this. I want to do that. Can you please help me? Like, can you please put together a program for me? Can you please hold me accountable?" And listen, like, there's been two friends. I've done this for a fuck ton of friends. Talking like, it takes two hands to count the amount of friends I've done this for, you know? And like every time, there was only two that I charged anything for, just because it's like I'm charging for like rendering my service. It's like if I was like a clothing brand, it's like if your friend has a clothing brand, you support them best by buying their t-shirt at full price. Like if you want to be that friend that's like, "Oh, hey, can I get a friend discount? Can I get a free t-shirt?" You're kind of not a good friend because you're not really supporting your friend. You just want free stuff. So there was only two people that I charged, and they weren't that close to me. Everyone else, I gave them free workout plans, free diet plans, free training sessions, free everything. Whatever they wanted, I would give it. I would give it all. And uh, literally, dude, none of them stuck with it. None of them. And I feel like almost when you do this, when you give so much of yourself that like it's obvious how much you're giving, you're kind of opening up yourself to disrespect, because you're kind of showing people like, oh, you don't value yourself that much. Like, you just did all of this stuff for me for free. They don't even think that like, oh, you must value me a lot, because they may have like their own insecurities that they need to work with. And so they think, oh, you don't value yourself that much. And so this kind of opens up the door for them to like self deprecate you and do these things. And this has happened to me like on more than one occasion. And literally after doing these free workout programs. Another example is like encouraging my friends. I I think you should encourage everybody. I think like regardless of anything, honestly, regardless of like let go of your ego, let go of your barriers, let go of whatever. You should always encourage people when they tell you their plans, you know? You should always encourage people because just because it's a good thing to do, you know? It's like a very shitty thing to like tell someone they can't do something. One, cuz that's not true. Like everyone can do everything, you know? And two, because just because it's a good thing to do anyway. So there would be a point where I would encourage my friends for everything. They would tell me like their wildest dreams. They would tell me like all of the things they wanted to do in this life. And I'd encourage the fuck out of them. I would give them so much encouragement. I'd be like, yes, like, dude, you can do everything. Like, you got this, you know? And then on that same breath, they would discourage me from doing what I wanted to do. I don't know if this is like being reflective of like maybe some of my friendships or some of the choices that I've made in my friendships, but I think that like being so giving, being so nice kind of opens you up to like being like a joke almost, to where people don't really like people see like the vulnerability, and it's what they do with that vulnerability that shows you their character. And a lot of the times when people show you their character in that way, you're going to be disappointed because you don't know a lot of your friends as well as you think you do, you know? And when push comes to shove, you're going to realize you don't actually have that many people, or at least you don't have as many people as you thought you did. You need to know how to be alone, because the greatest potential is within you. In that we're talking about friendship here. Like you have a lot of potential to do basically whatever you want. Like all of your limits are in here. Like let's get that out of the way. But the greatest potential for friendship is within yourself, because you know you. You've been with you. You have spent every second of your life with you. You know everything about you. You're gonna die with you. And so, because you are spending the rest of your life with you, it's essential to become your own best friend. And so, how do you do this? You make sure that you cultivate a very nice internal dialogue, and you set some boundaries, dude. These are the biggest things. Like internal dialogue and boundaries, they're going to change your life. They're going to change like your self-image, your self-concept. They're going to change everything about you. A lot of these friends that cuz okay, look. When I speak about like, oh, friends weren't encouraging me to follow my goals, or oh, friends were like self-deprecating me or whatever. That's like boundaries that were crossed. Sometimes these boundaries are crossed because they're not even expressed to begin with. People don't even know they're there. And so when you start to be your own best friend, you're like, well, shit. Like, I got very clear boundaries. You're like, hold up, don't talk to me that way. You know? You start catching people when they're in the act. Because, hey, like, and it's not a bad thing. Like, some people can get carried away. Some people may joke like that. So maybe some people are just used to joking in like very mean ways. And that's fine. As long as you express that boundary and they respect it, that's cool. You know? If they don't respect that boundary, then when you cultivate such a loving inner environment, you'll be like, okay, then get the fuck out. Like, I don't want you here. You know? Like, I don't want you around. And it's that simple. Or like, for example, like, have you ever been that friend that doesn't get invited to everything? Like sometimes there's like little outings that you weren't invited to, little hangouts you didn't go to, like stuff like this. It gets to the point where once you start loving yourself like this, it's not even that like one, when you start like loving yourself like this and expressing that love, showing that love, people see that and they want to be around you because you're a pleasurable person to be around. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is that you'll still not go. But like you'll go because you don't want to. You'll go because sometimes you're like, you know what? I need to recharge. I don't want to go out today. And like whereas the previous you that doesn't love themselves would have been like, oh my gosh, like this is my chance to like prove how worthy of love I am. Like the new you is like, I don't want to. It's nothing personal. I just don't want to. And that's like such a more powerful place to approach things from, because you need to love yourself. You need to. People are only going to treat you how you allow them to treat you. And you are their teacher when it comes to how to treat you. So if you put up with people treating you in a not very nice way, if you show up to every single outing, even when you don't want to, look, if you want to go to every single thing that your friends have going on because you want to, like you genuinely want to and it sounds fun, then yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But like, if you don't want to, don't go. That's the first thing. Like, have yourself at the forefront of your mind before any of your friends. This is crucial because you have a cup right here, right? And your friends are like little cups below, okay? Your friends are family. And so when the top cup gets filled, it starts like splashing into all the other cups. That's fine. That's what you want. That's like being a successful human, or like not like a fulfilled human being, as someone that like has their cup that's like overflowing, and like other people in your life are benefiting from it, and so when you give of your wisdom, you give of your gifts, it's from this overflowingness, but when you aren't in that state of overflowing, then you're not in a place to give. Okay, you have nothing to give, because if you're not pouring into your cup, then this cup is not overflowing. So you have to actually pour out of this cup into the other cups, taking out of your own cup. So if you remember earlier when I was saying that I was feeling like so drained every time I hung out with people, this is why. This is why. And so, yeah, you need to learn how to prioritize yourself, because the better you help yourself, the better you can help other people. And it's not only about helping, it's not only about like giving, not only about like giving friends things, giving them advice, giving them whatever. It's also about being a pleasurable person to be around. Like if you're always like tired and you're down, you're not going to be that fun to be around, and you're not going to be like as positive of a person than if you're like, like giving yourself the love you need to like be a functional human being, and then like overflowing from there, then you're in a better place to give. And once you're in this place of, loving yourself, and well, it's not even about being in a place. It's like a constant process, of loving yourself. Like it's an everyday thing. It's not like you just get there and then like you're there. You don't have to work at it anymore. Like, dude, very few things are like that. But oh fuck, what was I gonna say? Yeah, once you're like cultivating like a nicer inner environment, then the people in your life will begin to change. You'll be a lot more alone a lot more of the time, and you'll have a lot different friends. A lot of people are gonna leave, but it'll be like the people that need to leave will leave. And this will only leave you with the people that should be in your life. Sometimes you may go through like a complete transformation of your circle, and like completely new people are gonna appear. you know? Even if you think like, oh my gosh, like I'm an introvert, I don't even go out that much. Who's even gonna show up in my life? Like, trust me, it's like it's mind blowing, but it happens. Like I can't even explain it. So, you know, that's why you need to be your own best friend. It's not easy, you know? It's like being alone is hard. Like I said, you're literally going against your evolutionary human instincts that have been instilled and reinforced for thousands of years. So, if this doesn't go that smoothly, if this hurts, if this is painful for you, it's okay. Like, this is a necessary part of the process. And it's supposed to hurt, you know? You're like reprogramming your brain. You're conveying to your brain like safety, that it's okay to be by yourself. You're in good company, you know? And you are safe and you are loved. This is important. You are safe and you are loved. Okay? You got this. Now I'm gonna step away from the video to fill my own cup once again. I hope that from my overflowing cup, you have received some a little nugget or two that may serve you in your endeavors. And I wish you well. Till next time.